Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7 and today we are taking a look at the Civivi Sokoke. Now this isn't a new release, but it's new to me. And originally I wasn't too terribly interested in this knife, but everyone that I know who's spoken about it has said that this knife feels way more premium than what the price tag and the materials would suggest. So I was like, all right, well, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'll go ahead and pick it up. And I have to say, there is definitely some truth to what they were saying. So the Civivi Sokoke is a Ray Laconico design. And I mean, Ray Laconico pumps out designs like nobody's business. The Artisan Revel was a design that came out recently. And I know he has a new release coming out with CJRB. It's going to be a production version of his cane, which is one of his one of his American-made production knives. So if you don't know Ray Laconico, go ahead and check him out because kind of similar to this, he does a lot of very utilitarian, rather plain kind of designs. But all of his knives, regardless of the brand, are good users, right? So his work is definitely worth checking out. So as far as the Sokoke goes, as far as build, we have, I believe, 14C, 28N, although it doesn't say on the blade. And we've got this nice high flat grind drop point style blade, so very utilitarian. We have some belly here, so whether you're going to want to do some precision cuts, or if you're chopping something going through boxes, this blade obviously is going to lend itself to all those utilitarian tasks. We have a bead blasted finish, and our handle scales are G10. Now, typically, I'm not the biggest fan of G10. I prefer more like a titanium or aluminum. But this G10 it's smooth, but it's still grippy in the hand. It's got a nice texture to it. You can kind of hear the... and it also has, some pretty cool patterning, like the lines that are going side to side. So, I mean, for what it is, it does have some style. We have a reversible deep carry tip up pocket clip. This is stamped stainless steel. And I personally don't have a problem with Civivi's pocket clip. It goes in and out of the pants really easy. I don't feel any hot spots even whenever I bear down. So, I mean, it's not the prettiest pocket clip. But it's never done anything to me, so retention on it's pretty good. Obviously, with it being steel, if you bend it out too far, you have a chance of like bending it and it just having it stick out. So I wouldn't go crazy with it, but in and out of the pocket it's fine. Retention's pretty solid. We do have a spot to reverse the pocket clip, and with this being an inset liner lock, it's going to be relatively lefty friendly. So we can thumb flick it. We can reverse flick it. I'm not good at lefty stuff. I know a lot of YouTubers are like, well, I'm not good at lefty, but then like they flawlessly flick the knife every single time. I'm genuinely terrible at left-handed deployment. So it's, oops. Pretty fair to say that if I can do it, then it is likely anybody can do it. This is running on caged ceramic ball bearings. And we can officially say, yeah, it's lefty friendly. This thing's gonna be just fine. As far as weight goes, it's not too heavy. If I had to guess, I would say probably, as if my hand was some like universal measurer of weight, I think it's coming in at 4 ounces, which sounds kind of high, but that's where I think it's at. So let's go ahead and get a measurement on this bad boy. Okay, 3.9 ounces. All right, not bad. I'll take that. And let's get a measurement on it. Still have to figure out the lighting with the ruler. There we go. All right, so as far as the overall length, I want to say we're sitting just a hair over 7.5 inches, just barely though, like maybe 7.6 inches. So overall, it's not a super long knife. And then as far as blade goes, it looks like we've got about maybe 3 1/4, 3.3 blade length, and then your cutting edge is going to be right at. Well, I would say overall it's going to be 3.35, and then your cutting is going to be right at 3 1/4. So not quite hitting that ounce to inch blade ratio, but overall, yeah, I mean 3 1/4 is going to be pretty standard. A lot of people are going to be really comfortable with that. We're going to take a look at our blade stock thickness. There we go. And for blade stock, it looks like, oh, you guys see that? There we go. Oh, for blade stock, no, there's no way we're 11 thousandths. Really? Oh, here we go, so you guys can see it too. Is it really 11 thousandths? I mean, yeah, I guess it is. That seems 10? I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't get the most expensive. Yeah, it looks like it's 11 thousandths. Okay, I mean, I'm not going to argue with the machine. It knows more than I do. So yeah, relatively thin blade stock thickness. As far as ergos, I mean, you can see this is a fairly neutral handle. So we have plenty of neutral space up here to grip it wherever we want to, but then you can see it kind of bellies out down here, which kind of locks us in. So ergos in hand, this thing is incredibly comfortable. Definitely something you could use all day long if you wanted to. Even bearing down on it, I don't feel that clip. I mean, if I squeezed it as hard as I possibly can, like literally white knuckling it, then I can kind of feel the clip, but my hand's gonna get exhausted well before, that clip bothers me. As far as action goes, man, the top flipper is fantastic. You can do the finger roll. Obviously, you can do the thumb. You can thumb stud. You can reverse flick it, and you can do the reverse flick either. If you look, you can do it with the nail, which some people like, but you can also do it with the finger push. Like instead of tucking your nail in, you can just use the fat of your finger. And the acoustics are just, listen. And I'm gonna say the action and acoustics are where this knife kind of surprised me. I've handled plenty of knives, and yeah, the action is getting a lot better at the budget territory. But I've also handled, you know, plenty of Civivis, plenty of Sencuts, Kaisers, and something about this action and the thwack that it makes really sets this knife apart. I did put this knife to use. I did some box cutting with it, some letter opening, you know, really basic tasks. It performed great at all of those, especially with this high flat grind. You know, it went through boxes pretty seamlessly, and with it having a thinner blade stock thickness, you know, you're not getting hung up, you know, cutting through boxes. Now, I didn't do a Stasa where I went through, you know, 14 miles of sisal rope and, you know, 40 boxes, but that's not what I use my knives for. So yeah, I mean, I cut up a few extra boxes and things like this, but, you know, I mean, the blade steel is 14C28N, you know, which is a fantastic, well-rounded steel. So I mean, if you get this knife, not only do I think you're going to be very satisfied with the ergonomics, action, acoustics, but also this is an excellent daily user. This knife comes in at about $62 at retailers. If you go to White Mountain Knives, you can probably take 10% of that off and find it for, you know, $55. But I would say this knife is worth every penny. Totally forgot size comparisons. Let's knock that out real quick. We're going to put it up against the CJRB Pyrite Light. And dang, they are pretty neck and neck. Let's bust out the let's bust out the Kaiser Veritas. And the Veritas is coming in a little bit shorter. And let's do the recently reviewed Arkona Baran. If you haven't seen this review, check it out. And the Arkona dwarfs it by quite a bit. I'd say about 1.5 inches, maybe 1 3/4 inches. So easy to pocket, easy to use, fantastic action. I really can't recommend this knife enough, especially for the $55 price point. Outside of that, you know, tell me below what you think about the knife. What other knives you'd like to see reviewed. Like, subscribe, definitely comment. And then any recommendations you have for me or the channel or the video or anything like that, I am more than happy to take them. I'm going to be around for quite a while, so anything you do to help me improve is just going to pay off in the long run. Anyway, hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.